we're experiencing flooding on the Mississippi River. At the same time, we've had an outbreak of severe weather, such as tornadoes striking the central part of Mississippi as well as North Mississippi. So our resources were spread mighty thin. The cooperation we had among our local agencies, particularly on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, aided to our response in this. One of the unique challenges we had was particularly with emergency management and breaking it down to different aspects. This tornado actually had 2 different touchdown locations within the county, with a total of 3 total. The first tornado came through approximately 3 a.m., striking the community of Wren. It was the EF3 tornado at that time. We thought we could handle our response locally on that level, didn't require any state resources to come in. Approximately 12 hours later, a second tornado entered our county, again in this Wren community. The track was 1.5 miles south of the original track, but this was more deadly. This tornado had approximately 20 to 30 homes destroyed, and injuries in Wren. The tornado then lifted and traveled again toward the town of Smithville. It touched down, this time as the EF5. The town of Smithville is very small, less than 850 population. It completely wiped out 2/3 of the town, including all the town's infrastructure, such as City Hall, Public Works, Fire Protection, and City Hall. So we had 2 different locations working at one time with very limited resources within the county. During the response, we also experienced a power outage due to the TVA power grid coming down and damage in Alabama. So therefore, the whole county was completely without power, and our surrounding counties as well. So I could not utilize our surrounding counties to come help me due to having to work on the problems themselves. And we were initially told by the Public Service Commission of the state of Mississippi, we're looking at 5 days without having power. So I had municipalities within my city, in my county, working on tornado or issues not related to our tornado that affected their way they do things, such as the hospitals, city government, water wells, and the other agencies. So what we had to do, and during my presentation today, I kind of broke down how our response was to each particular discipline. First on emergency management and the cooperation among our local agencies, our local association. With the amount of damage we experienced, not only in Monroe County, my home county, but the northern part of the state, along with the flooding, our help had to come from the southernmost counties, the counties that dealt with Hurricane Katrina. It's very unusual because most of the time it's the northern counties going to the southern counties for hurricane preparations. So it's unique, they had to come north to help us with this tornado. And you're still looking at 5 to 6 hours before we can get help, immediate help coming from the south. Another aspect we had to work with was limited resources, like I said. With the TVA power grid, it's approximately 5 counties without power, so your large generators were going to be hard to get and much in demand. So that made an impact on our decision making. When we switched into the law enforcement discipline, like I said, the whole county, the whole city's police protection was gone. The police station was wiped out, put their vehicles, and actually officers were damaged or affected by the storm. So it put a strain on our county level sheriff's office. Again, we brought in outside help, Mississippi Office of Homeland Security, a force protection team to come in to assist with law enforcement. We established a curfew, and we're not going to put up with looters or anything like that. We're going to make an example of people, get our business out strong and heard quick. Search and rescue aspects of it, we had a local search and rescue team that did a phenomenal job. But again, we had to split our resources in half. Half had to go to Wren, the other half had to go to Smithville. So we brought in 2 other county search and rescue teams, plus I put a requisition in, or request in the Mississippi Office of Homeland Security for the activation of Mississippi Task Force 1, Mississippi Task Force 2, which is a specialized urban search and rescue team in the state. Again, it takes time for that equipment to start coming in. But we were able to work through our issues and do what we had to do to get things done. Another area of concern we had was in fire protection. As I mentioned, the whole town's infrastructure was gone, the water distribution system was gone. Also, the fire protection apparatus, such as the tankers, was damaged. So I had to bring in a tanker strike team in, which consisted of 3,000-gallon tankers plus other agencies to come in for equipment-wise in case we had a fire in the county. At the same time, personnel issue was a problem. The volunteer fire department in Smithville was all volunteers. So their homes and families was involved in this tornado, impacted by it. The other volunteers around the county are on this search and rescue team. So our manpower was very thin. As a result of that, I requested mutual aid to come in from the two large municipalities, one being the city of Tupelo for their personnel, in which they sent personnel down to man the station at Smithville. I also reached out to our military base in close proximity to Columbus, Mississippi Air Force Base, and they sent a stream of structural firefighters up to stand by in case they were needed. One of the aspects that was unique to us dealt with distribution management. We had determined through our planning a point distribution, but our planning consisted of pretty much a drive-through area which one could receive, citizens could drive through and receive such like MREs, water, tarps, and ice. I had no idea preparations was fixing to happen because just due to the amount of the generosity of Mississippians, it was clothes, food, everything coming in to help Smithville. We quickly realized we had nowhere to put this equipment or this supplies. There's only one building standing in Smithville that was large enough to capable of holding this equipment or supplies coming in. Nowhere in the largest municipality in the county was a warehouse safe place, so we had to clear out a furniture warehouse and bring in these commodities. Again, and during our planning, we had not realized or had saw a need in our planning for someone to manage this. So I reached out quickly to United Way of Greater Monroe County and signed an MOU and asked them to handle the distribution of the goods and services that brought into Monroe County.